The only thing that matters is the service. We are in the service business. I am in the service business. I am successful. 16 years later, I love Tehran. I love Tehran. Guess why you love Tehran? Because Tehran understands when I walk in this bitch, I'm a service. Yeah. You don't look at this bitch and walk here like I'm the biggest songwriter in the world. Y'all all need to bow down to me. That's why we rich. And my thing as a black man that has made millions of dollars and want to see other black people make millions of dollars, I know the one thing that's the difference is the fucking attitude. That's why I yell, because the attitude is the difference. And if you fix your attitude, everything else will follow. But you think, well, they ain't got to fix their attitude. Well, we ain't them. We ain't them. Because if we was them, we would be where they are. We are us. And the thing that's holding us back is we don't treat each other with respect.
What's good, YouTube? This is KB LaFleur. You can call me KB. Welcome back to another video, man. We got a good discussion today, man. We got a great discussion, man. It's pretty much about, black community, right? Pretty much black-owned businesses having piss poor attitudes and having bad customer service, right? Now, I've been talking about this for the longest, and like I said, this is why I love the Red Pill, because we talk about everything, right? We talk about everything, especially the manosphere, the black manosphere, where you're talking about everything, man, black, right? But I've always wanted to talk about this, man, because people, for me, right? For many years, a lot of people try to, harp on, hey, we need to keep the black dollar in the black community, which is true, right? But, there's plenty of statistics showing that, the black dollar, right? The black dollar only stays circulating in the black community once or twice before it goes somewhere else. Whereas in the white community, right, in these Asian communities, you're talking about their money circulates in their community for days on end, right, before it goes out to another community, right? So I definitely agree with that, right? I definitely agree with that. I do want to see my black-owned businesses succeed, right? Who doesn't want to see that? But at the same time, we have people who try to force other people to continue to deal with black-owned businesses, right? And you got people like myself who's going to tell you, well, listen, I get that and I understand that, but I'm not just going to continue to sit over here and give certain black-owned businesses my money, right? Mainly your black-owned restaurants. I'm not going to give them my money when they give piss poor customer service. And a lot of people will tell you that a lot of black-owned businesses, especially when it comes down to restaurants, they have poor attitudes, right? They have poor manners, right? They have poor customer service. Prime example, when you look at McDonald's, right? Any company, man, that's even ran by a bunch of black folk, right? Like McDonald's, Bojangles, right? Burger King. Well, I don't really eat at Burger King, so I really wouldn't know, but I'm pretty sure, right? Brothers and sisters in there too. But mainly McDonald's, you look at McDonald's compared to Chick-fil-A, everybody will always show you that and tell you that look at the customer service.
Good morning. Thank you for choosing Chick-fil-A. How can I help you?
Yes. Can I get 3 chicken biscuits, 3 strawberry jams, and orange juice?
So you want 3 chicken biscuits, you want 3 strawberry jams, and an orange juice?
Yes.
Okay. Would you like a complimentary coffee as well?
Absolutely.
All right. My pleasure.
Thank you.
See you at the window. Go ahead.
Yes. Before I order, I want to know if you all have.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that again? Because I didn't hear you. What you say?
Yes, ma'am. Do you all have any fresh fries?
Okay. Hold on. Let me see. Y'all got some fresh fries? We don't have any fresh fries, ma'am. You're going to have to wait for that.
Oh, okay.
But nobody wants to listen, right? But only a few people will really listen, right? Only a few people actually care about that because, once again, we have people who are so pro-black that, hey, gotta be black. And like I said, I understand that, but you have to earn my business. I'm not just going to give you my business just because you're a black community, just because you're a black-owned business. That's bullshit. So, for years, man, we've been having these conversations, but I've never really seen anybody actually talk about it on a podcast. Now, this is the best time, and we're going to talk about it, man. So, before we get into that, man, do me a huge favor, leave me a like, leave me a comment, and leave me a subscribe. So, man, and you're going to have a sister who is pretty much pushing back on this guy's stance, right? Now, this guy, he's, a so-called, executive producer, this, that, and the third. But he makes a lot of great points, right? He makes a lot of great points, and I'm rocking with him 1,000%. He obviously has to be established to some degree, right? He has some type of social presence. So he has to be making some type of sense. He has to have some type. I'm pretty sure he owns some businesses. He has to have some type of professionalism, right? Let's go ahead and jump into this.
Black people have the worst customer service in the motherfucking world. And you can say that you don't agree with that because I'm gonna fuck why. If we get our customer service better, we'll make more business. Bottom line. So you can say whatever you want.
When you go to the Chinese restaurant, they nice to you. Hey Ray, how you doing today? No, they just as mean.
Hey, Sue,
I don't go to
Y'all
the
be
fucking
fake.
Chinese restaurant.
All right, but you know what I'm saying, Ray.
I don't.
And as somebody stated earlier, they said, man, listen, a lot of women always want to point towards other cultures. Well, they damn just as bad. So why don't you focus on them? Why don't you ever damn talk about them? Why would we even focus on them? Right? Why would we even focus on them when we have issues of our own? And we're trying to fix issues of our own. Anytime we want to fix issues with black men, we got to worry about fixing issues with black men, right? And we can't worry. Hey, look, people going to sit over here. Oh yeah, you got the white man this, you got the white man that. Look at what they're doing. Okay, fine, right? We eat that and we try to make a change, right? It's a fact, right? At one point, we have a lot of brothers sitting in jail. Since 2006, incarceration rate for black men had decreased by 34%. So you're seeing a change, right? At the end of the day, you're seeing a change. But then when you sit up here, man, you see something like, I don't know, you see a lot of single mothers. Like, let's use that as an example, right? You may see a lot of single mothers. You may say, hey, man, listen, we shouldn't be trying to encourage this type of behavior. We then turn around and say, hey, well, you know what? Nah, forget that, man. No, you got these freaking white women that run around here having kids and this, that, and the third. Oh, okay. Are we worried about them, right? Are we worried about them? No, let's worry about you. Let's worry about our own community. So when we're trying to worry about our own community, once again, right? If it involves having the sisters make a change, it's always an issue. Is let's point our fingers, right? Let's point our fingers. It's never take accountability. And that's all people are trying to say. That's all he's trying to say. Take accountability for our own culture. We have piss poor customer service. Stop sitting over here getting upset when we point you out, then you want to point fingers. How are we going to freaking fix our own community if we're only worried about somebody else's? If we're going to worry about somebody else's community, we need to worry about what they're doing that's helping their community. That's the only time that we need to freaking worry about them, is what are they doing, man, that's helping their community, that's helping their community to grow, right? That's what we need to freaking do. Once again, people can sit over here and say black men need to do better. Black men need to take care of their kids. Black men are saying, okay, guess what? You know what? We're going to do that. We're not going to sit over here and get upset and, oh, well, you know, these white men don't take care of their kids, so why don't you ever talk about them? Nobody ever say that, right? Even though 70% of black men do take care of their children. But guess what? Once again, right? Only 60% of white men take care of their children. But women never sit, but once again, white women will never sit over and talk about that. Right? White women will never talk about the 40% of them white men that do not take care of their kids.
Don't go.
We could yell. You're yelling. Don't make your point.
I'm speaking for Ray.
At the end of the day, Asians don't sit there and say, hey, your customer service has to be perfect. Your product has to be A1 before I support you. They support you.
So
other races support you.
So Sue in the West End from American Deli she's a very customer service driven individual. She understands.
Shout out to the one Asian.
Oh my God.
Sue moved to the West End. Sue moved to the West End, and Sue started selling wings. And now you can take a selfie with Sue. You can have a good time with Sue.
And Sue only plays Gucci like music.
She does.
Like
so that makes sense why he's defending Sue.
She's playing to her audience.
She's playing it.
She understands her audience.
So y'all gonna go to black people restaurants because you could take selfies.
And you see what he was saying. He was saying, hey, she understands her audience, right? When they were talking about Sue, right? I believe they were talking about the Asian, right? They're talking about her, and she's saying, oh, it's the one Asian. When once again, Asians, man, look. You know, Asians are not rude, all right? Asians are not bad. In my opinion, from what I'm seeing, Asians are not bad. I've been around Asians, salon stores, freaking where they do the fingernails and all that good stuff. Never had bad customer service, right? They want to wash your feet. They want to do this. They want to do that. You don't get that, once again, with your black customer service. And I'm not saying this with all black-owned businesses. I'm just saying, man, with a lot of your black-owned businesses, you are going to get a lot of negative attitude, right? You're going to get a lot of negative vibes. I'm just being honest with you. But he brings up the point that, hey, she understands her audience. So she plays into her audience hands. She's saying, hey, well, you know what? They come in here. I have a freaking black customer service base. I'm going to come in here. Hey, I'm going to play a little bit of black music because that's what they like, right? That's how you gain your customer base. That's how you gain customers to even freaking like you to begin with. That's how you get them to come back constantly over and over and over. She don't see that. Once again, this is a woman who's talking out of emotion. She does not see that, right? But then you have some sisters, man. Let's just say if, I don't know, you have a lot of white women may come into they may get a lot of white business, which you probably not, right? A lot of black businesses tend to only get black business, right? I don't really ever see them getting mainly white business, and that's just me. But then once again, she's playing into their hands. That's what these black companies have to do. You got to play into your audience hands. Some of them just don't give a damn. They're like, man, look, you know, hey, I don't care about customer service. I'm just here to get a check, and I'm here to keep it moving. And once again, you only get that, man, when it's ran by a bunch of my skin folk.
So when you talk about black customer service, I had this conversation the other day with one of our artists. She was like, my nail tech moved from Atlanta. I was like, I got another one for you. She asked me, she was like, she black? I was like, yeah. She's like, nah, I don't want to go there. She probably don't do feet. And she probably gonna charge me an arm and a leg. And I was like, the fuck? She's like, every black nail tech she went to in Atlanta, I was like, I'm not gonna touch your feet. They charge you an extra a reservation fee, and then they give you shitty service when you get there. And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. We can't even have.
I spend $500,000 a year on bullshit, bro. And I love spending money. And the reason why I don't spend with black establishments like that, because they got fucked up attitudes. They don't give you a smile. They don't even say, hello, how you doing, man? I take your order. But I'm supposed to keep spending with them because they look like me? Fuck that. The rich are gonna, the people that are gonna rise to the top, the people that understand what it takes to win. Not the people that feel like you should let me win because they let them win. That's not how you win.
Once again, a lot of your sisters are like children. Like you will sit over here and try to hold them accountable. They will always say, "No, that's them. No, why you this? Well, no, why don't you ever focus on them? You don't ever call them out." Like, damn, sis, I'm worried about us, right? I'm worried about us. But see, once again, right? Let's just say if in the black community we just constantly gave, right, all the attention to white women, right, and we worried about other communities. What would black women say then? Oh, y'all don't even freaking focus on your own community. Y'all also worried about somebody else. I mean, they freaking get on us now for passport bros. They get on us now, man, for dating outside your race, dating white women. I mean, so just imagine if we just solely focused on white women, or if we solely focused on other race of women. Look at what we will get.
The only thing that matters is the service. We are in the service business. I am in the service business. I am successful. 16 years later, I love Tehran. Guess why you love Tehran? Because Tehran understands when I walk in this bitch, I'm a service. Yeah. You don't look at this bitch and walk in here like I'm the biggest songwriter in the world. Y'all all need to bow down to me. That's why we rich. And my thing is, a black man that has made millions of dollars and want to see other black people make millions of dollars, I know the one thing that's the difference is the fucking attitude.
I'm glad he brought that up. And here's the reason why I'm glad he brought that up is for the simple fact that got somebody in my family who knows somebody who owns a daycare, right? Or who owned a daycare. But the biggest reason why he could not continue the daycare is simply because the people he was hiring, right? A lot of the people that he was hiring, one of the biggest issues was that they had issues with attitude, which is why a lot of these people, man, who are in these companies, they try to beat in the company, especially black owned company, because it was a black owned daycare, right? It was a black owned daycare, but couldn't keep it up because once again, the owner said, you know what, I'm gonna leave it up to the people that I hire. So I'm a hire a director, yada yada. I'm gonna just be behind the scenes, just collect the money. I'm gonna allow them to run the business, but they're not running the business the way you need them to, right? They are not running the business the way you need them to. So because you never intervene, they're sitting over here running off customers because of the mouth, stealing, doing all crazy things, doing all type of shit, right? Now, mind you, this is a daycare. So women are mainly teachers in daycares, right? And guess what? This is a black-owned daycare. So guess who are the teachers, right? Guess who are the teachers? Sisters. Right, so I'm not even saying this all sisters, and once again, I'm not saying this all black-owned companies. But once again, you have real life examples, right? Because this sister, she don't care, but you have real life examples, right, of people allowing women to run the business or letting these sisters run the business, and this attitudes that are running the business in the dirt, right? Like I said, when you look at Popeyes, prime example, Popeyes. You're going to wait 10 hours for your food. You're going to get piss poor customer service. Hello? Oh, you're going to get piss poor customer service. Go ahead with your order. Let me go ahead and get your Whopper. Well, because you're talking about Popeyes. Let me go ahead and get your 4-piece spicy tender. We don't have no spicy tenders. Okay. Well, can I go ahead and just get your regular tenders? We all out of tenders. I mean, damn. I mean, can you give me? Can you? Okay, well, what do y'all have? Well, right now we only got mashed potatoes. I mean, damn, right? But then when you go to when you go over here to Chick-fil-A, right? Chick-fil-A, they're going to try to take care of you, right? And and it seems like it's mandatory. They always have to say, "My pleasure," right? My pleasure, or thanks for serving you. But they always have to say that, right? But then you never heard any Chick-fil-A cashier sit over here and say, "Go with your order." You've never heard that. But I can tell you what, I've heard it at Popeyes, tons of sisters and brothers. I've heard it at McDonald's, tons of sisters, brothers. Bojangles, tons of sisters and brothers. And guess what, right? Only got 5 people on the line, but you're still waiting 24 hours for some food. But you go to Chick-fil-A, the line be wrapped around the building. You still get your food in less than 15 minutes. So once again, you have prime examples. But I'm gonna show y'all this comments, right? I'm gonna show y'all a comment, man, where this sister, right? We were going back and forth, right? And mind y'all, I was on vacation last week, so I really had nothing but time just to be going back and forth with this chick. But it's just funny, man, that it's just funny that she is just so delusional, right? She tries to play dumb, but I'm going to go ahead and conflate the two, right? I'm going to show you, man, how this sister right here is thinking and how it's compared to the sister in the comments thinking, right? Because once again, they're all over the place, right? They are all over the place.
That's why I yell, because the attitude is the difference. If you fix your attitude, everything else will follow. But you think, well, they ain't got to fix their attitude. Well, we ain't them. We ain't them. Because if we was them, we would be where they are. We are us. And the thing that's holding us back is we don't treat each other with respect. We don't.
Once again, this is how a lot of your women think, right? This is how a lot of your women think. The same women, man, who sit up here and say, well, you know what? Hey, I understand, man, that you know what? Guys are going to be looking at me wearing a tiny skirt and wearing a crop top with my boobs out and everything. But I shouldn't have to change. I shouldn't have to change how I dress because of these creeps. These men should know that this is that because I got a split between my leg, I should deserve respect. It doesn't work that way. It does not work that way. It has never worked that way. If you're going to go out here, right? Once again, if you're going to go out here and you're going to freaking wear a tiny ass skirt, right, where your butt cheeks is hanging out, right? You can freaking see the moose knuckles from the back, right? Understand that there are going to be guys that's going to say something. They don't care, man. There are going to be a lot of guys out here who do not care. They're going to say, man, what's on their mind. They're going to say how they're feeling, right? But once again, when you try to tell women, hey, Mel, listen, it's really how you dress. Oh, no, it's not how I dress. It's them being creeps. Okay, fine it. It's the same mindset that this sister is having. She's trying to sit over here and say, well, you know what? Hey, it's not us. It's not us. And in fact, that is not even us. You need to look at other people. It doesn't work that way. So how are we going to fix us, right? Because once again, you're sitting over here pointing your fingers at them, but it's like, once again, you're not sitting over here. You don't have Asians, whites, or Indians sitting over here saying, well, hey kids, or hey y'all, look at what the black community is doing. We need to start doing what the black community is doing. You don't have any race sitting over here trying to emulate what the black community is doing besides when they want to be thuggish. And because why are they doing that? My biggest question with some of these artists, man, that are women, right? Some of these female rap artists, right? Why is it every time they jump into singing, it's always something sexual? It's always something twerking and this and that and this and that. Like, come on. I hate to freaking say it, man, but our black community is not, something to be boastful about, right? Our black community is not something to be boastful about. We're damn near the bottom of the barrel. So the fact that you're sitting over here trying to point your fingers and say, well, look at the Asians, look at their bad attitude, look at them. That's like, once again, that's like a trash quarterback. That's like a 5th string quarterback, right? That plays for freaking the New York Jets, sitting over here trying to say, well, you know what? Hey, I know y'all be sitting over here trying to jump on me, but y'all don't ever talk about Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers, right? And Joe Montana and Dan Marino. You don't ever talk about them. They're freaking drop balls. Why don't we talk about their drop balls? Because they're damn near perfect. Now, I'm not sitting over here saying these other races are not perfect. I am not saying that, right? I'm not saying that. But at the end of the day, right? When you want to talk about when you want to talk about having great presentation, right? Growing up, I mean, let's just be honest, right? Anytime you're trying to go out here and go get a job, what are they trying to say? You need to be dressed appropriate. You need to be this. You need to have a clean cut, right? You need to look presentable, right? So a lot of people want to attribute that to what? Being like them. Clean cut, professional, right? Let's just be honest, right? So nobody's trying to emulate no race is trying to emulate the black community, right? Unless if they once again they want to sit over here and do something sexual, and that's by popping their booty in the air and doing this and doing that. And once again, why does it always have to go straight to that? Right? Because they understand that in the black community, in order to be a female artist, right, to be a popping female artist, you just gotta shake some ass and you gotta talk about sucking and fucking. That's literally all you gotta do. Right? But when you go to, once again, these white communities, Asian communities, Indian communities, right? When you look at their artists, they're not doing any of that stuff. They're not doing any of that stuff. And if a white woman wants to become a rapper, she has some type of crazy ass name, Krishan, Iggy Azalea. And what do they want to do? They want to be rapping. And what are they doing? They're shaking ass and they're doing all of this crap. Right? Anytime a white woman wants to be a rapper, they're doing what Megan Thee Stallion is doing. They're doing what, I mean, like, come on, man. I mean, the list goes on. And Iggy Azalea, man, got pregnant by Playboy Cardi. Man, stop it. Come on, man. Like, let's be honest here. Amber Rose, let's be honest here. Kim Kardashian, let's be honest here. But once again, you don't have any of these races trying to be like our race, unless they're trying to be athletic wise. That's one way, right? Or goddamn talent wise when it comes down to entertainment. But once again, when it comes down to that entertainment stuff, you already see what they got to go down to. But like I said, you don't have that with other races. So once again, when you have this customer service thing, right? Back to the customer service. When you have customer service, right? When you look at the black community, you just can't sit over here and say, well, you got Asians that are bad. Well, when you go to Asian shops, you don't ever really get bad service. You don't ever really hear people talk about how bad Asian service is because they run that business. Right, that's biggest reason too. They run that business. So yeah, you might hear more Asians having piss poor attitudes because they run that business. Damn near every nail shop is ran by some Asians, right? Damn near every nail shop is ran by some Asians. So of course you're gonna have some of your bad batch, but they own that. And and guess what? Their main service is that nail, right? It is nails, and people constantly going back every single day because service is great. And as he said, when you go to these black nail techs, they're not going to want to go above and beyond for their customers, right? But when you have these Asian nail techs, they will go above and beyond. And I'm thinking, man, do they even have any female, black female masseuse? Right, I see a lot of white male masseuse or white female masseuse, but do they have any black male masseuse? It's just a question. It's just a question.
I'm a service.
So
hold on, stop. So I'm trying to teach you how to get to a certain place, and you don't want to accept that you got to change your motherfucking attitude if you do. And instead of change your attitude, you want to bring up what Asians do. I don't know if the motherfucker is smiling by the way they talking. I don't know their culture. I know our culture, and I know our culture. Black women have bad attitudes, and so do a lot of black people. And my thing is that we want to make money, then fix your motherfucking attitude. Or you'll be off and you'll see another motherfucker there smiling. They'll be like, they only picked her because she's white. No, we picked her because she smiled.
And that's just a fact, right? Right? But once again, when you try to tell sisters this stuff, when you try to hold the black community accountable, they're always going to try to hit the black head. They're going to try to cancel culture, or they're going to sit over here and try to deflect. Oh, well, you think you perfect. Oh, well, you must be a, oh, well, them. We got to focus on ourselves, right? If we're going to use any other race as an example, which we do every single time, right, in real life, we need to use them as an example for good only. That's all it can be, for good only. Once again, nobody's trying to be like us, right? Let's just be honest. Nobody's trying to be like us. And once again, we're gonna sit over here and say, well, you do have a bunch of white folk, and when they wearing afros, they culture vulturing. I get that, right? I get that. But once again, why does it have to be that? Why don't anybody ever want to be like, yeah, I want to be like goddamn Malcolm X? Why don't no white man want to come over here and be like, yeah, I want to be like Malcolm X? Why don't no white man want to come here and say, you know what, hey, I want to be like, I want to be like, Martin Luther King. Why doesn't no white woman want to come in here and say, well, you know what, hey, shit, I want to be like, You know, I want to be like something like Jill Scott, or, you know, I want to be like, Lauryn Hill. Like some sisters, man, who have some substance, right? Who has always given some type of substance. You don't ever see that. They always want to freaking be like Megan Thee Stallion or Moneybagg Yo. I mean, it's just an astute observation. I mean, them wanting to mimic us or be like us. That's what they always gravitate towards. So, you know what, hey, you know, if people want to be disingenuous, be disingenuous. You can be disingenuous, right? You can be in your feelings like this sister right here, right? She said in the comments, funny, no other race of people sit up here and do this type of ish, shaking my head. Do what type of stuff, right? Do what are you talking about, sis? That's my biggest question. What are you talking about? Do what type of stuff, right? And I'm pretty sure, right, and this is just an educated guess, that she's sitting up here saying bashing our own people, right? Because once again, you hold a sister accountable, or you hold your own community accountable. Somehow, some way you're a sellout. Somehow, some way you hate your own community, right? So she then says, exactly, these raccoons, ass MFs don't get that. And to be honest, the worst customer service I receive is always Asian owned, and it's been like that for years. Yet we are so quick to tear down each other, especially in public. No, we don't. And the only people that tear down somebody in public are black women tearing down black men. Black men never in a million years tear down black women on a public scale. Why? Because number one, we will get canceled, right? And number two, that's not something that men do, right? That's not something that men do. Lori Harvey breaks up with Michael B. Jordan, right? She's sending shots at Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan still yet has to respond, right? He had one little response that was on SNL. Right? I mean, damn, he has to say something given the fact that all she's doing is talking smack and sitting over here jumping from dick to dick to dick to dick. All of these women, man, who are divorced by their husbands or who divorced their husbands, they constantly jump on the internet talking smack about their husbands or talking smack about the ex-husbands, talking smack about the ex-boyfriends. But you'll never see the man responding. Tia Mowry, whatever her freaking name is, sits up here, man, I mean, going on interviews and all of this stuff, dropping major shade at her ex-husband. He still yet have to respond. So once again, this narrative that once again women, a lot of your sisters just can't come up with arguments, so they sit over here and try to push false narratives. Oh well, you know what? Hey, they're sitting over here, man. You know, talking down and this and that, tearing down in public. That's not tearing. It's not tearing anybody down, sis. Right? So then then she really gets into it. So she says, which is my point exactly. Instead of checking people in private like they should be doing, they want to go on a whole hobo tour spreading negativity like they are not part of the black business community. It's like make effing sense. So let's go ahead and break this down. So she sits here and says, man, number one, they're spreading negativity. How is sitting over here stating a fact, right? The biggest issue with black-owned businesses is that we have negative attitudes. Even if that, let's just say it's not a fact, right? It's still a good opinion. It's still a good, valid opinion. It's still a good, valid statement. Because once again, we've been hearing about this. We've been hearing this for the longest. But all of a sudden, now, you know what, hey, they're trying to do, they want to tear people down in public. It's not tearing anybody down. But once again, for a lot of sisters, you can simply hold a sister accountable. You're gay. Oh, you're tearing us down. You hate black women. You hold a community accountable. Oh, you hate your own people. Right? You heard she called everybody a raccoon. How can you be a raccoon for simply just saying this is what we need to change in the community? How can you sit over here and call somebody a raccoon for simply coming up with a solution and coming up with an idea to make a change in the community? But once again, you're only going to hear it from people like her. And then she's saying, as if you're not a part of the black business community. Okay, right? Now, mind y'all, and it's funny because in the comments, she's saying he's a so-called millionaire, right? He's a so-called business owner. But yet you just said he's part of the black business. But once again, you know what? Hey, once again, when you deal with women like that, right? When you deal with women like that, they're just gonna try to troll you to death. But you're talking about dealing with the black, he's part of the black-owned business. If he's sitting over here having this type of mindset, wouldn't you think that it would be smart for other business owners, right? Just like how he said, I want to see other black people touch $1 million too, right? Wouldn't it be smart for him to do what he's doing so other people can fall on board? See, if he was sitting over here, man, pushing some propaganda or pushing some BS, right? You'll say, oh, well, look at him pushing some BS, yada, yada, yada. And y'all people are just eating it up. Why don't you want to do something productive? He's saying something productive. It's an issue. And this is, once again, this is what you're going to deal with when it comes down with a lot of women. I'm just being honest with you. So then she says, you may not run a business a certain way, but guess what? You spreading that negativity is doing nothing but hindering you in the long run. Sure, hindering in the long run, right? Hey, people, listen. Coming up with a solution in the black community is going to hinder us. Understand that, right? This is what she said. That came out of her mouth, y'all. For him to sit up here and think he is immune from people having the same prejudice against him simply because he is a black business is foolish. But these clowns don't hear me though, sis. Sis, like, what are you talking about? For him to sit up here and think he is immune from people having the same prejudice, what do you mean? He's not sitting over here saying he's immune to anything. He's just simply saying, here's a solution. We got to change our attitude. And I sat here and I told her, I said, man, and you know what? You are the prime. Like, when you think of a McDonald's worker, I think of that chick, right? I think of that chick. When you think of a McDonald's worker, I think of that chick. And I'm not saying anything wrong working with the McDonald's, anything wrong working with McDonald's. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with working at, Popeyes, Wendy's, Bojangles. It's an honest living, right? It's an honest living. But it's just a fact when you go to a lot of these McDonald's, you have piss poor customer service, and it comes from a lot of your sisters. Let's just be honest, right? And it comes from a lot of your men too. I'm not going to count the men out too. I get it from a lot of them too. That is just a fact, right? That is just a fact, right? Once again, he's not saying that he's immune to anything. He's just simply saying, you just got to make a change, right? Coming up with a solution, make a change. We got to change our attitude, because this has been the issue for the longest. When you look at Caribbean restaurants, a lot of their issues is attitude. It's attitude. They even have memes about this stuff. And if I can freaking find these memes and I can put them up here, I would tell, like, there's a reason why memes exist. There's a reason why a lot of these memes exist, and there's a reason why we relate to them so much. And if I could put them up here, I can. But dog, it doesn't make any sense that you have people disingenuous. But when you deal with the black community, right? When you deal with people who are just super pro-black, that's what you're going to get, right? That's what you're going to get. So, like I said, man, I enjoyed this conversation, right? I enjoyed this conversation. I hope y'all did too, man. Y'all do me a huge favor. Leave me a like, leave me a comment, leave me a subscribe.